Welcome to today's lesson of September 2021 as we move on to question number 2. So question number 2, part A, reads, examine 4 limitations of financial accounting that has made organizations introduce management accounting. 4 limitations of financial accounting that has made organizations introduce management accounting. Part A, limitations of financial accounting that has led to management accounting. So 1 is it is historic in nature. 2, it reports to external users only. Then 3, it deals with monetary transactions only. And 4, it provides reports. It provides reports for an organization as a whole. So I'll explain. One of the limitations of financial accounting is it is historic in nature. So when we are preparing our financial statements, we normally base on what has already happened. But management accounting is futuristic in nature, so it is dealing with the future. So when we gather information, the main purpose is to present that information to the management so that is to be used for decision-making purposes, which is normally related with the future. And then part 2, we say that it reports to external users only. Management accounting normally provides information to internal users. Like financial is providing to people like investors, creditors, suppliers, etc. But now when it comes to management accounting, it is providing information that is to help the management, like to aid execution of managerial functions such as planning, controlling, organizing, and so on. And then 3, it deals with the monetary transactions only. So this is a limitation to management, to financial accounting, but management accounting deals with both monetary and non-monetary transactions. And then the last one is it deals with the reports. It provides reports for an organization as a whole. So it does not look at the segments of an organization. But management accounting normally provides information for segments. Like when an organization has different departments, it can be able to provide reports for each department, which we are referring to as segments. So those are some of the limitations of financial accounting that has brought to the study of management accounting. We move on to part B of the question. Part B question reads, The following details have been recorded for 4 batches made in the month of June 2021. We have batch A, B, C, and D. There is output in units, cost per unit in terms of direct materials, direct labor, labor hours per batch, and then additional information. Note number 1, the total production overheads for the month of June 2021 has been analyzed as follows. The costs are in shillings, so we have machine-related costs, material handling and dispatch, stores, inspection, quality control, engineering support. Then number 2, the following cost driver volumes were recorded for the 4 batches, for batch A, B, and CD. Then required part 1, based on a labor hour overhead absorption rate. Compute the batch cost and unit cost using traditional absorption costing system. When we use traditional absorption rate system, we are basing on activity levels, such as where we use methods such as labor hour rates. We can use machine hour rates. We can use units produced and so on. And so part 1 is requiring us to prepare or to calculate an absorption rate that is based on labor hours. In the first part of this question, where we have batch A, B, C, and D, there is direct labor hours per batch that has been given. And there is a way that we normally use to calculate an absorption rate. And this is how absorption rates are calculated. Absorption rate equals budgeted overhead cost, and this is divided by budgeted activity level. In this case, you've already been given the activity level, which is the labor hours. So that means to calculate an absorption rate, we are basing on the production overhead that is given, whether it is budgeted. So under additional information note 1, you are told that the total production overheads for the month of June 2021 has been analyzed as follows. So you get the total of the production overheads, and the total will include 14,600 plus 6,800 plus 8,250 plus 5850 plus 6,200 plus 8,300, which will give you a total of 50,000. So our budgeted overhead cost will amount to 50,000 shillings. And then the activity level, according to the question, is based on a labor hour absorption rate. In that question, the first part of it, we have labor hours per batch. For batch A, we have 1,150. For B is 190. For C, 860. And for D, 300. So again, you get the sum of all that. So we are dividing this by 1,150 plus 190 plus 860 plus 300. And when you solve this, you will be able to get you'll get 20 shillings. This is per labor hour. 20 shillings per labor hour. This is an absorption rate. So what is an absorption rate? It is just the same as the cost per unit of an overhead. The cost per unit of an overhead. An overhead is the total of all indirect costs in an organization. So that should be your first step. Calculate the absorption rate. Once we have calculated the absorption rate, the next step is to calculate the total cost of the batches. Total cost of the batches. So according to the question, we have batch A, B, C, and D. The total cost will comprise all costs that will be incurred. So in the question we were given direct materials, direct labor, and remember anytime you calculate an absorption rate, that is normally used, or it helps you to calculate the production cost of that particular, producing that particular batch. So that means our total cost will comprise direct materials, direct labor, and the production overheads. So already you are given direct materials and labor, which you simply record. So we'll have direct materials for A is 1,650, for B is 750, for C is 2,100, and for D is 900. Then direct labor, which is also given, direct labor is also given. So for A is 9,200, for B is 1,520, C is 6,880, and D is 2,400. There were no direct expenses in the question, and therefore we need to get the prime cost. We show the prime cost, which is the total of direct materials plus direct labor. Prime cost. So prime cost, we are adding direct materials for each batch. So for A, we have 1650 plus 9200. This will give us 10,850. For B is 750 plus 1520, which will give us 2,270. And then for C, 2,100 plus 6880, which will give us 8,980. Then D is 900 plus 2,400, which will give us 3,300. So once we calculate the prime cost, the next thing is production overheads. Production overheads. Production overheads. To calculate the production overheads, they were absorbed on the basis of direct labor hours. In part 1 of this question, we have direct labor hours per batch. For batch A, the labor hours were 1,150. So to calculate the production overhead, we are simply taking the absorption rate, which I say that is the same as the cost per unit of an overhead, and then you multiply that by the number of labor, the number of hours. That is labor hours. This is working number 1. Production overheads. So this will be equal to absorption rate multiplied by labor hours. That is for each batch. So beginning with batch A, the direct labor hours for A were 1150 and the absorption rate is 20, i.e. 1150, that is times 20. This is for batch A. When you multiply that, you will get 23,000. Then for B, the labor hours are 190 times 20, which will give us 3,800. And C, the labor hours are 860 times 20, which will give 17,200. And then for D, the labor hours are 300 times 20, which will give 6,000. And then you simply get the total to get. The total cost will be equal to the total, that's prime cost plus production overheads. For batch A, it is 10,850 plus 23,000. This will give 33,850. Batch B is 2270 plus 3,800. This gives 6,070. Then batch C, 8,980 plus 17,200, which will give 26,180. And then we have 3,300 plus 6,000, which is 9,300. So this is the total cost of the batch. So the question required us to do the batch cost, which is already done, and then the unit cost. From here, we calculate the unit cost. We calculate for batch A. Batch A will be equal to the total cost, which is 33,850 divided by 250 units. Which will give 135 shillings point 4. So our unit cost for part A is 135.4. You do the same for batch B. The number of units were 60 and the total cost is 6,070. So when you calculate this, you will get 101.2. For C, it will be 26,180 divided by 200 units, which will be 130.9. And for D, it will be 9,300 divided by 120 units, divided by 120, which will be 77.5. And that's part 1 of the, and this is the total cost for the batch. And the amounts were in shillings. The amounts are in shillings. And we've been answering part. Question number 2, part B, Roman 1 of it. From here, we proceed on to question number 2, part B, Roman 2. Roman 2 is the batch cost and unit cost using activity-based costing. That is ABC system.